This is Commissioner Winker. We'd like to call the meeting of the subcommittee to order and start with Dr. Fair taking roll call.
Commissioner William Cheshire. Commissioner Angela Flowers.
Commissioner Flowers present.
Commissioner Hannah Jimenez.
Commissioner Jimenez present.
Commissioner Kathleen Linker.
Commissioner Kathleen Linker present.
Commissioner Lindsay Seiss.
Commissioner Seiss present.
So we have 4 members present, so you have quorum.
First order of business is approval from the minutes from our meeting on January 17th. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Someone wants to, no one has any questions or changes, someone want to make a motion?
Commissioner Seiss motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Jimenez second.
So, all in favor, respond yes or A. A. All opposed? So it's unanimous approval of the minutes. So the first thing on the agenda is the bulk of our work is going to be on is the Canvas course. And the first thing, the logistics of creating the Canvas course, Dr. Fair's already taken care of that for us, and we have the 2 Canvas courses set up, and we all can access. And we are also, remember, the second thing was, to make sure that we're teachers or admins and we are designers, so we can have access to add things and move things around. So that takes care of the first thing on the agenda. Does anybody have any questions about that? And then the next 2 things sort of go together because one is one Canvas course and the other one is the other Canvas course. So one Canvas course is specifically for the advisors. And then and there were 3 things that we talked about last time for the advisors that we wanted to have training on content, possibly training on the evaluation forms, and to add training on the digital components. And those were the 3 areas that we talked about when we talked in January about having those courses, those modules in the course. Mm-hmm. And then the other textbook commissioners course is a separate course. And within that course, we talked about having the commissioners training on the digital components as one module, the evaluation week process and procedures as another module, and then the commission reports as a 3rd module. Did anyone have anything that at this point that we want to add to it? Or we think that's a good starting place? So just focus on those 3 areas for each course to start with.
Commissioner Seiss, I think it's good because I think I need more and it gets overwhelming.
And so the last thing on the agenda before we break into actual working on the Canvas courses is the publisher's requests. And Dr. Fair, we worded it for legal to look at. We were requesting the publishers to submit, and to be honest, I have not had a chance to look at the draft for the invitation.
Yes, I think we went through a couple of rounds of editing and feedback between the procurement office and legal counsel, but it is in there asking that we did put the request for video or screencast as preference, but did also say it could be and or written instructions about how to do it. So that's in there and asking for that information during the bid submission, and it would come to me and then I would share information with commissioners. But it is in the draft invitation if you want to look through there. I think it's on one of the beginning pages with the guidelines and the parameters. And then it's on the bid proposal page. So you'll be able to see the language there as well.
So that's actually part of each of the courses, the modules. So when we get to the digital components, like whatever we get from publishers that maybe we can hyperlink into that
Yeah.
module.
Mhm.
So that won't come about till April, if it's part of the bid process.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
April
yeah.
something, April 13th, something like that. So it'll be mid-April.
Okay. So that's the logistics, and so we kind of know where we're going. And we had originally said at the 2020 meeting, and we can all work on it together to lay it out if we want to, and then break off into the groups. But we had said that if you want to jump with me, Commissioner Jimenez, Commissioner Cheshire's unable to attend, we could work on the advisor one, and then Flowers and Sites, you guys can start kind of thinking about the commissioners,
Okay.
the what it looks like and kind of things. I mean, I think maybe if we break apart and start that way, and then maybe after lunch come back together and see how we're doing together. Like just take some time after lunch to see where we are and the logistics and the things that's going to take time. To me is going to be I call it to make it pretty, but
Yeah.
so that it's not such a bland course, that especially the one for advisors, that it's appealing. And I know the one for commissioners with our first meeting tomorrow, we probably, a lot of some of the stuff that we do tomorrow after the fact can be uploaded too. There'll be some information in some of the documents that are in the Google Drive we could probably add.
Commissioner Jimenez, and I was thinking like maybe for the advisors we can make it more module based, but maybe for like the commissioners it's more of like a page based where they don't necessarily have to complete the modules to get credit or like anything like that, like a normal Canvas course would be set up, but it's a way that they have access to information that can explain different parts of the process.
Yeah.
That's a little more organized than like just having a Google folder that has a lot of things in it. That's kind of so it's not like they have to take a class. I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
Yeah, but I think we definitely talked about the advisors being able to go through and complete it as part of a requirement before we get to evaluation week, and what are some of the things that we can have front loaded so that when they get on site we don't have to spend as much time. And some of the stuff that we share here, you'll hear me share and Dr. Mooney share tomorrow to the whole commission. But one of the things that we are going to go back to this year that we did in the past, we did this last year, is there's going to be more what's going to happen in the room training in the main room.
Okay.
And not in the individual rooms.
Okay.
Well, we can't front load. So kind of like we'll kind of front load what it looks like to be in the room, but then so that everyone hears the same message. And then when we break into the rooms, everyone already knows what's expected, and it's just a logistic thing. We also talked about adding last time, I think it was Commissioner Cheshire's idea. We're looking at possibly adding, we come in on Sunday, publishers for evaluation week. Publishers would set up on Monday. We did bump their time up to 8 from 9, so it's 8 to 12, with the idea that some of their training is going to be digital.
Okay. Yeah.
Up front, and the possibility of adding an official meeting for commissioners on Sunday evening so that we can walk through the rooms. I mean, the rooms aren't going to be probably set up.
Yeah. And
if there is already something in the room, we may not have access, but we can at least kind of get a feel for who's in what room. Those commissioners can get together. There's a lot of new commissioners. Who's going to be in what room, and kind of get that conversation going the night before, and the logistics of that the night before.
Okay.
And then on Monday morning, we would just be there to make sure the room's set up. You'd kind of already know the setup for the room that you're in, and maybe that'll speed up some of that as well.
So, Commissioner Jimenez, after lunch, are we saying the advisors are going to start then with their looking over the textbooks, or is that going to be when the big meeting happens?
When we were talking about it, we weren't sure about what the publishers could give us to front load versus what not. So I think we're still working out. Okay. That is ultimately what the plan was. Okay. That's the whole point of having, I think, the courses digital and some front loading is so that then they have more time in.
Yeah.
I know when we get into, and I haven't had a chance to dig into, I'm working with the DPI consultant actually for my region, because most of it's CTE. I mean, it's 912 math, but CTE has different areas, and some people can evaluate some areas and some they can't, so they're a little more tied to what they can and can't do. And so logistically, in the past, for instance, if a course is Masonry 1 and Masonry 2, generally those teachers can only evaluate Masonry. They may only be there for 2 days.
Okay.
So we will actually start debriefing early. We haven't done CTE since 2007.
There was a group in 2007, and there was a smaller group in 2013.
Yeah, and I think that was when we were in Raleigh at the Imperial. That was before we even had digital stuff. That's when we were paper pencil evaluations. So whereas this time everybody kind of went to the last day, we were hurrying through. If it ends up being, there may be a handful of people that would be a day and a half because there's just not that much that they can look at. Just does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm working with my region's person, and then also they have said that they're CTE is more than willing to help us kind of figure out that piece, like who's qualified to do what section.
Okay.
So ideally they would start evaluating on Monday afternoon. Logistically, we're still trying to play with the pieces.
Okay.
So with that said, you can just break up and kind of brainstorm what you want to include and get working on that. It's 11. Work for, you guys tell me you want to do like an hour and then stop and lunch, or you want to go till 12:30 or 1 and stop and break and then come back.
Commissioner says I'm good going to 1. I think an hour doesn't even give us time
To get started. So so now it's right at 11. So if we go from 11 to 1, break off into our 2 little subgroups and work.
And I'm right here. Okay. I'm sorry, Commissioner says. We're looking at the original document. That's what we're just trying to figure out. Because originally it was you and Flower.
All right, well,
And then me.
Because I think I'll put the minutes.
I think it's in the minutes.
Did it?
I don't know. Here, I can double check. I don't care where I go. Yeah.
Rob can look at it.
Yeah.
I said what I said was just on the site. Yeah.
Yeah, you have the advisors.
So refrain. I saw that you and me, Lincoln Jimenez working on also on the site. I think that's what I was looking at. So we're back to you two working on commissioners, and then Flowers and I work on advisors.
Okay. Everything
So
yeah, so we think like before, like the first day that we stepped in that what it was we wish we
So we have the 3 areas. Well, I was going to look. I mean, there's nothing in the course is blank. So how familiar are you with Qs?
Well,
I know how to add material. Like I know how to do what we were talking about for
if I'm thinking back, like
commissioners, because that's how we do at school. Like I have all my curriculum stuff I share. I'll put it up at the course and the quiz, and the advisors might be a little more it's technical.
like just
so do I need to
especially if we can't assume everyone knows, like people folders, people die.
That's just introduction.
All of
I mean,
that.
I've taken courses and I've done that, but I've never created
Yes.
These are actually 2 different ones. One of them
If they
says
choose to
commissioners.
do
And I can't see the title. So what is the chemistry? Right. And then
virtual demos.
so I don't have it.
Yeah, digital demos, I don't know.
So that was good.
This is like,
So we're on the last one.
yeah. Or more, it's what the publisher send us, as like information.
So the content pieces coming. Did you say content has come into it?
I think that is.
Well,
It's
they're
pretty
gonna
much all
do it with
digital.
us. So you know how they give us
So
a
then
presentation, what they're gonna do beforehand?
That's very good.
And it's usually a PowerPoint. And so I think for things like that, it's just fixing the module or wherever that we're gonna house and then upload the video that they share.
Okay, so we should start with
Into the
like,
campus course, and then if you
getting the
watch
materials. Or receiving the
They
materials.
just said that they do PowerPoint. Are we gonna video it?
no, we're gonna take the PowerPoint and put us the information and put it up.
Did you do like a hardcore
And that would give them the advisors the information
Not as
that's
they came
presented.
in, but once I
It's recorded.
thought I
It's
had
a video. It's
everything.
recorded, but it's not being
I think
video.
that's something good to mention because
Like
they
Dr.
started
Fader
out
records the
and they don't all
meeting,
come in
together.
together.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
So I waited, so this was
But
my
it's not-
process and we
yeah.
just brainstormed. So
Yeah.
I waited,
so that's
I waited till all the boxes
with
came in.
talking about
I printed off the spreadsheet
That's
that
a
we
question.
got in our email.
Dr. Fair.
And then I
It's just a
sorted
question.
by grade
When
level.
we have the meeting with
And then I started with like whatever the alphabetically.
the consultants or the departments
And I
present to
checked all
us,
the things
commission,
that I published at that
and we
grade level.
record the
And
meeting.
then I moved to the next
That's
grade
just
level.
an
So I
audio
checked
recording
based
of
on
the meeting.
publisher.
That's correct. It's just
And-
audio.
So if
I think
we
that's what I did. I
uploaded
didn't sort it by grade level. I sorted
into
it by
the
publisher.
module,
I sorted it by
the
grade
advisors
level
have access
first,
to
and
that.
then I went through by publisher
To
because I
the
wanted to
actual
see.
presentations that they do.
I don't know, it's just
If we
easier
just
in
put
my
up the
head.
presentations,
sorted by
is that
grade level.
enough, or should we put up the audio recording
And
of
it's- I
them
think it's
explaining?
easier
I think that may be
if
confusing though, because
Because
there are
then,
questions
for
and
me,
stuff.
I
The
can
PowerPoint to notes.
It should.
Then that's.
these materials or
Yeah,
whatever.
because I think if we,
But I gave
But I
away
mean,
like
if you
these
would,
grade
if you
levels.
need me
Or like
to,
donated them
like,
to
do
and
a,
stuff, so, like, things like that.
go-to recording of it, where
Receiving
whatever
emails,
slides are being shown will be on the recording as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can set it up to do that day.
It's gonna be based on.
that may be
Yeah.
easier to
Publisher
put up.
and or grade level, however.
Yeah, whichever works best. for you.
Because
And
we'll
then you
have,
Yeah.
need to
for,
do-
because we're meeting in the state boardroom, they have their own recording device.
Yeah.
So
Make
anytime
sure
we're there, I'm usually not
have
recording on my
everything.
laptop. It's usually, they record it and it goes to YouTube. So if that's the case, if we want to have it, then I can just have my laptop and have it connected to the projector when they present, and we can capture their slides as well as
Okay.
their audio
Okay,
and
that
just
would
have it
work.
that way, yeah.
Um,
Because outside of that, we would just have to
One
ask,
mistake I
can you
made
do
was
a
I went
PowerPoint
and
recording?
Yeah, no, and I think the PowerPoint's enough.
Yeah,
That's kind of, let's kind of think through it, because sometimes when we discuss it, like when we ask questions,
and I
it's good information, but I don't know, I don't want to confuse advisors by hearing our questions.
And I know too, the other thing is sometimes they do things slightly different for you all versus the way
Yeah,
they
and they
do
make
for
some
advisors.
changes.
Right, and I think what some of them have told me in the past is like, the advisors know the staff, they know the content area, that's their area. So they're not presenting like that part to them as a, we need to make you aware of these standards and all of that. They're really pretty much just really getting down into it already with them having that knowledge base. Whereas with you all, because you may not be the content experts, they're trying to cover a little bit about explaining the standards and things like that. So I've never looked at the
So
two
maybe
presentations, but
Maybe we put that up in the commissioner's stuff and not
Essentially, like, we're the go-to.
advisors,
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't
Well,
have
I
anything to
think,
put in the
like, we could
advisors
even add later on
other than the
ahead of
is,
time.
like the room
because they-
breakdown. And
that's-
then,
I was just thinking, like, I'm
like
searching
in
right
one
now
of our
for
meetings,
documents that they need to pre-read,
just
just
have
hand
people
out
sign
to
up.
them
Like,
Yeah.
and that could be,
arrival.
Mhm.
And
it can be
I was looking
official, it
at
can be
Google
unofficial,
Drive
whatever.
for
But like, I
previous
just
years.
think,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Like,
kinda like that.
They get a
Especially
packet
because
that has the
so many
checklist.
different
I can, if you don't see it, I can move it over to
Because,
this
like,
year. Give me
I'm not gonna
give
know
me a
anything
minute or
about
two.
Thanksgiving. So like, I'm gonna want, if that's what I'm assigned or whatever.
Because
like,
I
I'm gonna
shared
be
that with you
real
all
expert
last year,
on
right?
it, like,
It just needs
but
to
I'm
be
not gonna be able to be an expert on like HVAC and mixing.
Okay.
Why not?
this point, divide and conquer probably. So that's just a side note that we can kind of just remember.
You want me to put it in the subcommittee folder? Is that where you are right now today?
Yeah, I put in the subcommittee.
Literally. Okay, so third inventory and then
Plan for resources. Like plan for where they're, maybe like plan for where they're gonna be housed, plan for like what you're gonna do with them afterwards. Like you should be thinking about that before they come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just not as tech savvy.
Okay, so that's like
I haven't
everything I
gone-
think before.
I have been.
Yeah, like
you show
before
up for
you even
evaluation.
get to the evaluation.
Sure, I mean,
Okay, so then like
Yeah.
next would be now it would be like during evaluation week.
This is where that spreadsheet.
In
remember,
that
like, we
one,
didn't even do it.
yeah, but that's in that
So
one.
much easier.
Yeah.
It should already be in there,
Exactly.
in the meetings.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, like, one thing I wasn't prepared for was I didn't know that we were just gonna be saying meetings for people to come.
Yeah.
Ask those questions.
Because we need to start off just by
This is where
either
you need
breaking
an
this
expert.
apart
Mm-hmm.
or because it's like your role and your responsibility.
Alright,
So
so.
this is the
I wonder,
orientation and
I
training.
know that they're gonna
right?
put us what we're doing. Should I?
Yeah.
About creating a spreadsheet with the publishers. Like, we should just go ahead
And have it created.
and then just send it out and say use, I mean, and you don't have to use it, but
Yeah.
it's a really good way to stay organized and make sure that every publisher there is
It's
done.
checked and
Yeah.
by multiple. I would say like put it in there because like,
Prepare.
okay, yeah, maybe we do it this year, but like in 3 years, like one person doesn't need to be the one responsible for doing it.
And see, last year.
We
yeah,
can do
like
it so that they know like what we're talking about, what it looks like. Maybe we
Trying
can
to
even
figure out
put
what we're gonna add my
last
grades.
year's blocking the names or whatever so that they can see an example of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could definitely do it this year, just to make it easier.
Are we including quizzes and things like that?
Yeah, because part of it is, what they need to do before they come to get credit. Oh, Weber said about. It's gonna be their requirement to go through the Campbell's course.
What are the?
So there's gonna be, and that's where we, need Hannah, you're better at that. So if we just got what we're gonna put in it.
We were asked about like
So do we need to like keep coming
the
up with
one that
questions?
really
for
sticks out to me is
each
when we were asked
section?
about
How
page
do we
numbers.
do this?
Do you
How,
remember that lady? And I
like
just
break
don't
this
like.
apart and then
There's nothing that
this
can
for
prepare you
each
for that.
section? Because it
There's
starts
a lot
off
of
like
technical
Yeah, but we
issues.
want it to be all,
So like be prepared to like troubleshoot.
text.
Like maybe we can provide like I have some documents of like
so
troubleshooting
like
there's
and
they
stuff
need
like
to have
that.
expertise in the content area, be familiar with the textbook values,
Definitely
prior to
include
teaching.
that.
Following resource analysis to prepare.
What
So
else?
maybe we need
That's a
to
big one.
And that, I think too, this goes back to,
start off.
if we would have
With-
known how extensively we would have had to go into
This
their digital.
starts off with the imitation.
I mean, I just made
So
sure
it
this link
says
worked
the
out in
rules,
my file.
procedures,
Yeah.
process
Go
that the
through it.
imitation can be done.
So
So
we need to
maybe we
actually
could start off by having them
review.
fully
Digital
go through
resources, yeah.
the 2020 invitation.
For whatever they're.
I mean, it's just, I'm just
Or
going
if
by
you
what
like,
was
or
I
if
think
you
if we
just
just
say
say
that
that-
it'd be all digital. Whatever, but like that's a later conversation.
Just
Does that
that,
not
just
be
the,
part of
well,
it?
just the rule, I would just, it just says the rules and the procedures for it. The actual invitations, like
And then keeping track.
111
So in
pages long.
addition to like.
Cause it's got all the CTE, it's got all the CTE pages. So if we're gonna do it, it should be something where we take the information that's to the rules, the procedures, and make a PowerPoint or something for them to see, not just
Everybody
cut and
working on
paste the
Carnegie, like
text.
making sure like
Does that mean like, cause I think we
kind
can
of
do that in
creating
a
some sort of
quiz. I
system.
mean, I
in
think
the
you can have
running
it where they
where everything's
look at
being
the
looked at.
different parts and then after, within the
Nothing's just
quiz,
sitting.
they look at the material and then they take the question.
Mhm.
Okay.
So Or
So
something,
that's what they
something a
need to do.
little more,
Group notes.
more engaging than here's the text, read this.
Read
and
this,
this
we're
way.
gonna
This
stop
can be
quizzing.
something
Yeah. Mine might be like
While
a
they're-
slides,
while they're
and so that's
sitting
something like we can
waiting.
work on
I
like
have this one
in the
too.
next month. It's like we divide out things and then we work on the,
notes on during
that
preparation.
part of it, you know, the creating
And
slide from this part, or what do you want it to look
Something
like?
there could be two. There could be like our notes from like
Dr.
before,
Fair, can you
like
ask,
before we come together.
and you might know, but if not, can you ask your campus person here?
And then another
Like I have ARC, it's not called ARC anymore though, which is way to video.
You're seeing
Like
that.
screen, it's like screencast, but it's within
Yeah, I
Canvas.
forgot what
Two
it's
shared
called.
So if I did that in my school's Canvas, because that's an add-on,
Right.
is there something that we can use to pull it into?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Other than that, it's going to be probably more like it's called screencast when you do your. And I try to download that and I had a hard time with it. Are you familiar with screencast?
Yeah, I do screencast with File. It's an extension on mine.
And your
Well,
people?
and on the Mac, does screencast automatically now.
Yeah.
You can just do Command Shift.
And I think that's
5.
what I think that's when I kind of played with it. But in my district, we have what was called ARC, but it's something else. It's where within Canvas you can video.
Mhm. Oh yeah. There's
Like-
a built-in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an add-on that our districts pay for. I don't know that is it
I
in
think
every
there
campus?
is a add-on just for that. Yes, you can record video directly into Canvas. Yeah.
So everybody has access to that?
Mhm.
Okay. Because that I have played with on mine. So that's a way that we can video like how to navigate the things
Oh, the Canvas course.
put it within the course.
Okay.
Like the material, right?
Oh,
Because it'll video your screen or do a
Mhm.
thing or it'll split where you can talk and it shows your screen.
Yes. I don't know if it's that. It's not. I don't know if the built-in here. Let me go in. I don't know if it's that nice. Like if you guys paid for like ARC specifically, like I'm not
It's
sure
not
the
called,
one
it's called
or yeah.
Studio now. It's called Studio. So see,
So will you give me the question again?
so it's called Studio
Okay,
in
got it.
Canvas.
Uh-huh.
If I record something in my districts in our Canvas
Mhm.
on Studio, is that something that I can import or share to other Canvases? You know how you can get courses and stuff through the Common thing? Is that something that we can share?
Now the NCDPI Canvas has built-in Screencast-O-Matic, and all you have to do is literally click on the external tools, and it pops up for you to go. So it is built in. Like it looks like this, built in directly to theirs.
And where did you go to get to it?
So if I just went to like making a test page,
Yeah.
and then the little blue V is external tools, and that's where like Teachers in Bed, like Quizlet and Khan Academy and stuff like that. But you can add like based on the instance, each person that's in charge of the instance can buy different things to have in their instance, and so it looks like NCDPI has Screencast-O-Matic built into theirs.
Built into it. Okay.
So this is
Look, this is their whole checklist, period.
Yeah. So if we make each one something they have to do.
these two here were the two that I
That's
looked
a
at.
lot of stuff. I feel like
That after all of those notes I took, I could have
Yeah, but
already
some of it is just
had them in,
documentation
but I
stuff.
didn't have
But
to
can they
wait
just
until
go
you
ahead
did
and
the show.
do some of this digitally.
Because I had to sit there for like an hour after that.
Wait, so
Like,
they-
With the
again?
interviews.
like all the notes, you know how like they go
Yeah, I
into the
think
weekly
that-
preparation,
She
like
probably
our
has
title reports
Uh-huh.
that we
That's
could have
probably a
already
Cornell question.
cut and pasted because
What's
the
that?
commissioners
So the
are
things in the
working on it, we
checklist
could
that
be
are
pasting it
like the
in
W-9,
our
that,
notes. Now we just have
and
to
now
do
we have to
final
do procurement again, that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Do you want it built
Yeah.
embedded in the module where they submit it that way, or do you need them to bring it?
Yeah.
To do it
They
separately.
have to
All
do
you
both
have to do is
anyway.
update your
So
file.
in the past, they've always had to get it to me either through email attachment,
Oh, yeah,
fax,
because
or
I remember you
mail,
were in your room.
and then still
Yeah,
bring
and I
their
had
original ink sign.
been working on it.
So
Yeah,
it
'cause I
would be
didn't
great
know
if they
that-
can submit it through
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
It could be
To
done
go ahead and
So-
submit it here, but
through.
they'll still have
This
to
This is
bring it.
all for
checklist,
actual
basically,
evaluation.
and-
So if we're trying to make the
Is there
checklist
anything else?
in here where
And
they go through the checklist, make each part a separate
Okay.
So then now
thing, and then they check that they've done it, and then maybe have a little question or two asked if it's something that they need to show that they did read or do that
So
part.
this is
Okay.
where
And they get a green
You
check
can be
and then
working
they
on
can
that?
see
Yeah.
what they have
What
left
they
to
have
do.
done and what they
Yeah.
haven't. That would be good. That would be helpful. That would be very helpful because, as you can see, they get a lot of information.
Yeah.
And so for some, it's very open.
And so I thought if we break it into parts and each part's a different section, and then they can go through each section, and then
one.
when you're finished, you get credit for the course, you know, then you're finished.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be very helpful. Because usually there's not
Because
a
you
lot
can
to.
upload in Canvas, so they could upload
Mhm. That would be
any of your
great.
documentation, and then it would all be in the Canvas course for
That
you
would be
to,
good. As long as it's secure.
well, if DPI's
Because they
Canvas,
have-
is
yeah,
it secure?
I'll have to find out.
Okay.
But as long as it's secure.
I mean, you have to have an IAM code.
Yeah, I'm saying. I'll double check because they'll have their social on stuff.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
gotcha.
And do you remember when we had to do the procurement operations? You had to go into procurement and they had to make themselves look at their number. And that was confusing.
Deliberations
Well,
was the
this
one
year
that we voted on everything for the first round.
They
The considerations are after the first vote
So we
They
need to make
give
sure
them,
that
what,
we do
5
everything on
minutes
these.
to
I think you start that, but that's a
convince
PES,
us
so we're gonna have to.
I'm just
show
kinda
us how
looking
we
at how it was
didn't
organized.
understand or something like that.
Like, do
I
you
think the
start
important
with,
part is like
um,
during the
this
deliberations
the
is truly
invitation, so we
knowing
always
like
start with that.
the rubric for like
Well,
what we're
We can
looking
go to the
for.
invitation and but lift out
After we sat in the room, all
just the
teachers
part
told me
of
we
the
could
invitation they
on
need
our
to look at. Like they don't
That's
see the whole
No, that
invitation.
was still evaluation.
What the heck was
Deliberations is when we like clicked yay or nay
Yes.
Don't you
when
kind
we
of start
voted.
off with
when
like,
we voted, and it showed up on the screen, and we'd be like, "All right, whose vote is missing?" Like vaguely. Yeah. Okay. So that's deliberations.
the process is like,
There needs to be
No,
an
no,
intro.
deliberations
There
is
needs to be
when
an
they-
introduction.
At the very end.
Yeah, there needs to
That
be
was
an
October.
That was in October. That was when we came back. That was when you said,
It was the one after you met with the teachers, because you met with the teachers
Yeah.
for the full week.
yeah,
And then you
and
went back
also
and started
maybe at some
evaluating your
point
own
early
stuff,
on
and then
is the
came back to the
definition
meeting
check.
to say, yes, I'm gonna vote, yes or no.
because originally it was scheduled for August.
And so the intro would
Yeah,
include.
it got changed because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it got changed to.
I just remember you
August,
didn't sit near me. You
Like,
sat at the other end of the table.
Oh, so you're
Yeah,
saying.
and I sat
an
next
introduction. Well,
to.
we said
I can remember visually. I can tell you like.
I couldn't talk at that one.
Yeah, she had
couldn't
a
tell
voice.
you.
This was the same week, like we were still
No,
there.
no, there was a couple months in between.
Yeah, a hurricane, there was a hurricane
Yeah.
in between.
Yes,
We got sandwiches that day, right?
There was the
Yeah.
hurricane.
No,
in between.
That's funny because I don't remember.
We had to reschedule twice because of the
Yeah.
hurricane.
But like, honest to God, like that was literally the last day of our July. You gotta leave our room. But
Yeah, I'm trying to
okay,
check the
I
difference.
Okay,
Yeah.
Welcome
Okay,
to
I
the
do take
Commission.
Maybe you do an introduction with
Yeah,
us.
that was a very short.
We
day.
have
I think
our,
that's
um,
what
Or
we
just
were.
our mission.
I was
to
expecting
remind
it to go much
us
longer
to
than
be
that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we could probably upload.
What did we say your name
Are we
was?
still gonna put? Are we gonna put our pictures on the website like we did in the past, but not recently,
What pictures?
of us? We used to have our pictures.
Maybe like a go-to.
We didn't have a photographer here for a while,
And
but
that's-
we have one back.
Well, I wondered if for this, for
No, they're-
advisors, if we had a picture of all the commissioners that we could say, you know, welcome, and then here's the commissioners.
I think it's a good idea.
So then you've got a picture for the
Be ready to
person.
talk.
Yeah.
Like, you must
What I
make
can do
comments
is I can find out, maybe during one of
about-
the
there has to
commission
be-
meetings,
Okay.
if the photographer can come
Like, I think there
and
should be
take
at
the
least 3
picture,
to
'cause you
5
want a
comments
group
on
picture.
That's, yeah, and then we can say, this is the commission,
Mhm.
welcome.
And we can put it on the website. But yeah, I can ask her. I don't know if she'll be able to make it tomorrow, but
No,
I can ask her that. Because
Yeah.
everybody's.
Maybe if we
supposed
shoot
to-
for, say, the March meeting,
The March
and
meeting.
everybody knows
Like,
up
what was
front,
this
the
for
March
meeting?
meeting, we're
Like,
gonna
those
take
that I
a group photo.
Like for mine, it was like cultural relevance. So, like I
Just
always
see
made a
it
comment
something
about
like,
culture. Was it
welcome to
culturally
the
relevant? Was it not?
King's
So,
Course.
that we could even say like
And then
that's a
maybe
strategy for like
like a
organizing your thoughts.
Either
I'm gonna make a note
Who are
that
you?
between
What
evaluation
is-
and
or what is
deliberations,
the
this is what you go back
like just maybe start
and
a few
fine
more
tooth any questions.
questions
Yeah.
as the heading.
Especially
Yeah.
now that you have the advisor.
So like, who are we? Who we are?
It's not really who we
I
are.
know,
It's like what is the commission? What is the mission of the commission?
Well,
Who are the commissioners?
Yeah, but
what's the purpose?
Yeah,
That'd be cute.
the
Cause I
commissioners.
always wanna know about people.
yeah.
What is the purpose of evaluation for advisors?
Well, that's just.
I just think it's easier if you could organize it like a text structure of
Yeah,
question
Yeah.
answer.
yeah.
Um, but it's not
And then reconsideration is kind of all
That
together.
she, I was gonna say that should be before that, right?
No, reconsiderations and after deliberations. It's the same day. Or yeah. it's the same
Yeah,
day.
reconsiderations or it's the next day.
Or
depending on
the
the
yeah,
conference.
depending. I think it was the next day for us.
It was.
Because we left early. Because we watched them. Have all their little videos.
No, you can look. I'm
Just
trying to find
what's the
something.
commission? Who?
Any
Who are
publishers
their names?
who
Who's the role?
had items not
Talking between my Safari and the Google. It's on my Chrome.
They,
NAY.
Do you have the advisor packet that's not PDF?
Not in Google. I'd have to go get it off of my external hard drive. But I
You
have.
can
Can
convert
you,
it.
at some point, can you do that and maybe airdrop it to me? It's your external drive that you can, because then we can copy and paste from the
Yeah, I can
documents
do.
and stuff.
Let me look and see if I have one.
You can convert the PDF though.
You have to have, it doesn't look the same.
But if you just want the text.
That's true. It doesn't line up the same, but I could probably find it. I put it as a Google Doc, right? Usually the stuff like if I open
Yeah.
the operations manual and it as a Google Doc.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a lot. But like that's what I told my teachers. I was like, I would much rather spend like 5 minutes organizing than 30 minutes trying to retype something.
But that's why I said if she had the actual word, she airdropped it to me, then we'd have it. But let me see what it looks like. I'm working it.
Okay, I was
Let me see what it
looks
looks like when it
now. I
works.
Okay.
Did we sorry, we're jumping all over the place. Did we talk again after for reconsideration? Like did we make comments again? Okay, so you ready to make comments again before the revote?
Some of them, I mean, you've covered it that everybody needs to make comments.
with that 3 to 5 per item, is what they need to be prepared for. Cause
Just so that they-
like I
And
felt
then
like
if
it was
somebody,
like
and
our
if
side of the
somebody,
table.
yeah, and if somebody else says that you know not to repeat it, then you got something.
Oh, that's
There,
it.
you do not see.
We could even put like you don't have to speak for every item, but like I would aim for like every other.
On that too, and then don't assume. I think everybody assumes that you and I are gonna do.
It's
or
taken
someone else is
forever
gonna
to
do.
translate it just because I mean, it's
That's
just
okay. I can
just
do.
like-
I can get it
It's
for you.
not
A little
long
mental
though.
shift
What
that you want us to do.
It's just the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I can get
a
it.
pretty question for,
Mhm.
other than Canva, that's pretty much where you go to get like, so if I go to, cause I've done a lot with Canva lately. So if I go to Canva
Mhm.
and I make like a post or something like that, then that's easily
Yeah.
embedded in Canva. So
Yeah,
like
you
if we
just
want to
upload
make
it as a file. Yeah. And if you want to make buttons,
yeah, well, I tried that. Like I went through this summer trying to figure out that because I thought I was gonna have to do my own curriculum page, but ended up not, and so all that was for nothing. And so I kind of like put it out of my brain. But I have been doing a lot in Canva, like for making
making like banners,
flyers and
stuff like that,
banners
yeah.
and stuff, because I mean it's easy, and then hoping that it's easily embedded.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, most of the time, like what I do is like if my teachers like want like something like as
Yeah,
their like
that's right.
homepage or something, I'll make like a flyer or whatever,
Yeah.
or poster, banner
So like
or something.
we can make our like opening pages or what on Canva.
Mm-hmm.
That'll make it pretty, and then we can put it. So
Put
it's
it
not
in
just
modules, yeah. You can link to the first module, or you could just hide everything else on the sidebar, and all they have to click on is modules.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
The
make it appealing.
creativity piece will come in then.
exactly. Make it not as
With some bare bone skills.
Yeah, I mean, so like, so it's not a black and white list,
Right,
checklist,
yeah.
digital. So there's like, break it up with, if it has to be text, it's prettier, more
Yeah.
appealing.
Right.
And then if it is something that we do need to do a lot of text, then we do like PowerPoint or something to break it up. Quizzes you can pull in videos and PowerPoints too, right? So like if we made a PowerPoint, then we could pull it into a quiz and ask 1 or 2 questions.
Yep.
So that'll be able to do it that way, like pull in the PowerPoint and then make 1 or 2 questions on the PowerPoint as part of the quiz.
Okay. I was just thinking of like a selling point though that we can also include in this is like, how teachers sometimes have a hard time with the leadership standards on the evaluation
Oh, yeah.
that
But we had
This was
talked
going
about trying to get it for CEUs. Like once, remember that?
Boy, they did get it for CEUs.
They
but
are
it's-
going to get their CEUs for it.
But it's
Yeah.
not necessarily digital. I think it falls into other.
but I'm just trying to think.
They got it. I mean, yeah, I think that's
But I'm
what they
saying for
got.
completing the course.
Yeah.
Remember that's what we said. We
Yeah.
wanted them to have CEUs
Because
for completing the course.
I mean, it's a requirement to complete the course before you
Yeah.
come to evaluation week.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's part, like that's part you have for your work.
I was just thinking within our course, not necessarily for, because not everybody on the commission is an educator,
Right.
but definitely that they could see this as developing professionally and having a
That's a
broader
good point.
impact.
Because if we take a look at the professional standards and see which of them this would fall under,
And
and
it
you
gives
can
it-
say it's evidence of.
And it would be artifacts and things
Right.
that we use to support that.
Yeah, that's a good
Personal
way to put it too.
Because I don't even think some of the administrators at the local level realize what these people do in the summer
Right.
is valuable.
Oh, yeah. A lot of work.
And they learn
Okay, yeah,
so much
so
by doing it.
standard 1, teachers demonstrate leadership, strive to improve the profession, contribute to the establishment. Yeah, promote professional growth, participate in decision-making structures.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
exactly
that's
what
it.
this is about. And people don't
Well, not only that,
realize
also
that.
for ourselves. So maybe when y'all do the commissioner's part, we embed that in there too, so that we,
Definitely standard.
for the ones that are educators, that they've got that, they know that that's documentation that you can pull in for that.
Mhm.
I think it could also be teachers know the content they
Then
teach.
standard 4.
Yeah, or 2. That's 3, sorry.
I agree.
Especially for the advisors. Like
Exactly.
they have to know their North Carolina standard course of study in order to be able to appropriately advise.
And that's why we want the best of the best doing this. And then we want the people that want to deepen that as well. See this as a really great learning opportunity.
Not just some money on the side. For
Yeah.
Yeah, we need
That may
quality.
be really good too, especially 'cause I mean, it may be more difficult for a CTE teacher to show leadership
Right, exactly.
within the expert in their field, and that may be may help the ones who are only going to get 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
So they're not going to get a significant
Right.
fun money because they're not going to be a couple days. So it's like you're going to get paid for while you're here, and this is powerful documentation for meeting these standards that it's really hard to meet.
It's more value added.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why you have to do the modules,
Yeah.
because that's where the CTE, that's where the CEUs are going to come from. That'll help you prove that. 'Cause, yeah.
So we
Alright, so starting with digital components.
So if we do the building a little bit flyer, like ELAs,
This is your
and
expertise.
send out to everybody
Mhm.
that we made, look at it from that point of view.
Canvas, you can see.
Standard one, incorporate that somehow into the recruitment.
So if you have Canvas, you should have Canva, but I can't remember if I made an account or not, like it's not through Canvas. It's called
Right, I
Canva.
did, that's what she and I worked on last year.
Okay.
No, it was good.
And so there's like templates and stuff.
Mhm.
There's even presentations in Canva that are really cool, like, see.
Mhm. Yeah.
So like we can do some of these if we're doing PowerPoints do presentations in Canva because they're
Now you're gonna have to be creative.
eye-appealing.
Yeah.
So now let's make like a homepage poster. Nope.
So like the
See, it's
fingerprint
still,
thing.
it's still trying to convert.
Oh goodness. No, my mom actually had a problem with it just the other day that it wouldn't convert something she wanted either. So maybe it's a Google issue.
I'm not gonna try Pro for 30 days.
No, I'm not trying to do Pro. I just do. I mean, there's plenty to do without it being Pro.
That was what I did
What you do,
previously.
yeah. So if you know, so you know, do it. Just go to templates,
That's just what I did.
and then there's posters, and you can go through the posters and look at something that you like, and then there's presentations for when we go to do some of the slides.
Yeah.
Then we can make it more eye-appealing. So
Do you
when
want to start like trying to put questions and
Yeah.
stuff in there, or just start like,
Well,
like
I would rather do it in Canva and in that and work on the presentation that way, because if we upload stuff into the course, then when I mean Hannah to help us organize it, because that's what I mean. Like I want it to flow nice, and I can put stuff up all day, but like it's the overview and the look, and
well, let's talk about
do we
this.
want buttons? So it's easy to do that in like a Canva presentation that then we can upload into the course.
Right. So, but before we do that, do you want how
She's going to go get that digitally for us.
are we gonna follow the checklist?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
or we have different activities, or like I wouldn't put it all in one presentation.
No,
with
I'm
the
just saying, is
breakdown.
that the kind of
Yeah, I think
checklist
so.
that we're
Just need
gonna
to start with. I think that's because that's stuff that she requires already.
and the whole packet?
Yeah. They'll still have to get the packet, but we've got them a better way. Yeah, but I mean, they'll still get the packet. But
Hard
this is,
copy.
now they know she emails it to them.
But they don't need that anymore if they have the
That's
ability
true.
to break it apart.
Yeah.
And it's gonna
And if
be-
everything in
that
there
is
is
the
in
packet.
here.
This is
Mhm.
the packet.
Yeah.
The course is the
And
packet.
then when you finish the course, you've gone through the packet, and so that's going to be one module in the course, just that. And then we'll have to do some of the training ones and all that
That
later.
is like, that's all.
Yeah. But when Dr. Fair brings back the actual Word document, we can
Mhm.
copy and paste. It's not
I'm
translated.
just trying to look at the language and see if any of this is like legally that has to be, or maybe just
This is like, remember this is last year, so some of the dates are not going to be right. Like tentatively, the evaluation site's the same, but we're hashing out the details. She's working on that now.
did they ever update this definition of the general?
Yeah, she would have.
statutes?
It would have. That's the most current because that's from last year. But it's also in our policy and stuff.
So one whole thing should be
So,
put
like-
in the textbook,
Need
and
to
then
know.
ask them some questions about it,
For now, yeah.
right?
But I thought we'd have it in here. We don't have it.
Yeah, especially for like you're talking. Remember, you got CTE people too. So
Yeah. What is a text?
Need to know training.
English education. And then have the statute in here,
No, I don't like that.
and then give examples.
so we would make one thing
It
on
was just that.
the procedure process, the rules of process, that's gonna be one separate thing, right? And then one that's has the links for their standards. See, this is all the stuff they're supposed to read before they
Is that,
come.
I'm trying, where are the rules?
If you click on that, yeah. Oh, the policies right here. It's got bit.ly links, but it's also in our stuff.
You don't even need to say orientation training. This is what they're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
that's
orientation
in-
training's separate.
Comprehensive orientation.
That's on site, isn't it? Isn't that what we call the training on site? So that's gonna be a different module in here, as much as we can front load. That's what happens evaluation weeks. Like that needs to be a presentation, evaluation week.
This English, but I'm doing pretty well. There we go. See, beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going here, I'm going to create a page.
Down there all that yesterday, so operations.
Wow, click on the wrong button.
So this is the digital piece that they're gonna learn how to use.
So you guys also might want to look at the operations manual that we have in our packet and see if there's some of that stuff that might also.
We create like a, yeah.
And I think what like the biggest thing and the way you're going to hear us drive home every meeting is attendance
Yep.
and the report. And what that entails.
So this course little thing right here, digital, is gonna include how to use the online platform. You gotta do that one too.
And that's what she's going to talk to Kenya about that because Kenya will have to come up with something for us for that.
I didn't even need it.
Yeah, in the module. Like we're going to make a module for it, but Kenya's going to have to.
Are we
Help
gonna
us
like
with
say this in this is
And then
gonna
I
be all
figure we can
done.
put all
I'm
the
just trying
pages
to think
from
what
all
can
of this.
you use eliminate like how to prepare for the evaluation.
Well, that's all part of evaluation week. That would be part of it, right? That you need to make sure you have a laptop.
So the introduction to baseball, where they said explain the background, what is the textbook, then go into the.
Yeah, but you want this to be a separate thing and not in the same presentation.
I'm just saying that a separate piece. I'm saying after the
Yeah.
then it leads into like, okay, how to prepare.
Very cool. We're starting.
We have a page.
All right. Now we need to make more pages.
If you walk that way, there's like 5 carols and you see how open it. It's on your right. Yeah, just you'll see it.
You'll see it.
There'll be Carol, no Carol. It's to the right.
Okay, so our first page.
Do you want just like a brief overview? Make that the first
Yeah.
page? Okay.
Okay.
Then we can go back and once we pull it up, we can add whatever.
Yeah, I'll just make the pages for give us a skeleton.
In our folder, there's also things like there's something for attendance, like the governor's executive order 34. Like it's in our folder.
Okay.
It is from the governor, although it's old, obviously, because it says Governor Purdue.
So important. Should we just name it like important documents or?
Yeah, I mean, you can say you can and just link it there. I mean, we're gonna be hitting it, and if it's in the Canvas, and it could be that maybe if what's in the Canvas, maybe by the time we come back in March, that maybe we start making part of our meeting around the Canvas.
You remember those? I don't know if you're old enough. Remember those commercials? Like they would come on and they would say, "The more you know," and it would be like a little tiny PSA about like drugs.
Oh yeah.
And it would like the more you know, and then it would have like this.
We name the page the more you know. I'm trying to think. It's kind of like a core syllabus.
Yeah.
But I don't want to call it that.
No,
These are kind of like.
and we're gonna need you to like help us with the quiz. Like we're gonna have all the information there, and I can play with it, probably figure it out. I just don't want to mess up the course. I know sometimes it's hard to when you put something
Put
too
it
much
in,
in. Yeah, so it's better to have it
That's what I
separately
would say,
made and then
just-
upload it into the course later.
Yeah, put everything as like
In a Google folder or
pages
something.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and even that, like, you can put everything in Canvas, but like make it like either a page assignment or like a quiz, and don't put anything in modules yet. And then we
Yeah,
can
and drag and arrange it
Yeah.
that way. So make it a page, a quiz.
assignment. So like, are they turning something in?
Yeah, they gotta turn in, we're gonna have them turn in
Then that should be an assignment.
all of the documents that they would normally upload in email. We're gonna have them submit them through the course and upload them in Dr.
So
Fisher.
anything where they have to submit something is an assignment. Anything that's just notes is a page,
Yeah,
and anything that is obviously a quiz.
and what would our like if we do a Canva presentation, that's gonna possibly be part of the quiz. Like that'll be they go through it and then there's a quiz, the question.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be within the quiz.
Yeah, we'll import that as like the directions for the quiz. Or no, we can even import it in like where we would typically. No, we'll do it as the directions because the question will need to go in the question space.
So we want to upload it as a file.
Yes,
We would.
we would. Yes. Put it in like put it in the Canvas course file.
Okay.
You create it in here and then
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Right, so the quizzes, anything we ask questions, all the submissions, the things we want to submit, that's going to be an assignment.
Mm-hmm.
That's just pages, documents, and then the file is where we're going to upload like Canvas.
That's good.
The pages where you type
Kind
things
of spicy.
in it, but this is if we upload.
Okay.
Like if we make a presentation in Canva, or you make a poster in Canva, you can upload it
It's
into the file.
operations manual.
And I think if we embed the videos, it's under that page. Yeah.
They're all separate documents.
I need to add one first.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
do what
gonna
you got it?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, just a second. Let me make sure it's up. No, you're good. I just make sure my airdrop's up. Open.
You're a tech amazing.
2020.
No, but is there any way this drives me crazy? Can I not just have where it's all of my folders and I can just choose a folder? I don't have to go through this stupid
So
document.
it says advice.
You need to come to mine.
I do.
Make Google your best friend for you first.
So somehow you want that to
Oh,
be
you're in shared
part of their requirements or like the.
Oh, we just need to add it to your drive.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are
Maybe it's already
familiar with the text of process.
No. Am I on it for the top?
What about the state board policy?
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up those kinds of things. Which
Can we go ahead and drop those files into there?
well, she's gonna airdrop
Yeah.
to me and then we'll. That would be.
Not all your files.
I think so.
You do? Because maybe that's.
Oh,
Because they need to know what they're, I mean, ultimately,
Yeah.
not like a 20 minute, like a 5 questions.
Now, something else I do, and you can brainstorm if you like this now that we've gotten off of it.
Alright, I'm gonna read it.
I set up like priority workspaces. So like, have a testing workspace where all of my testing documents are like, even though I have them all sorted in the
Yes, that's what I
folders.
need because
Yeah.
I need to be more organized. I really like that.
Thank y'all.
It's beautiful.
Protect yourself before you make it.
That's the last I need. I have no idea.
Okay, then I'll do that too.
Okay.
Do we not have those? Usually, let me see if it's in last year's folder. There was a,
So yes, they are all separate. There's the tentative schedule how we want to post, this executive order, and then there's a map for parking and stuff. Well, that's like finally got the schedule would be nice.
Mm-hmm. And I'm probably gonna make these all individual buttons.
Okay. I mean, that's, to me, that's all like it. If I was like, I just think if I'm the person doing it, it just seems more organized that way.
or maybe everything is, I probably do the.
Where's
operations
this
manual.
policy text?
Where are these July dates that she
I was gonna say, it was hyperlinked to something we had last year. I'm looking at last year's stuff. Maybe it was in our operations
Oh, can we
manual.
not do it the same? I'm literally just gonna have gone back from the bank.
If not, I think it's on the webpage.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this Sunday. You think it gets like a Friday?
Adoption,
No, we have to be
evaluation,
at the fifth.
advisors, commission. We gotta have this page.
Because the fifth
Yeah.
is Sunday, so we're Sunday to Friday, right? And then Monday.
Oh yeah, I have it on my calendar already. actually. And I get back the 3rd.
Ugh. Well, luckily, there's no time.
I don't know if I want to include the link, if you want to have it for specifically the commissioners, it's the state link. Textbook commission
The link.
policy,
Yeah, you might as well.
and that's like the whole folder and the whole process through 06. And it's in the invitation, the last one, if you ever wanted to click on that. I didn't know if that you want to include that or not.
So it's a state board policy?
Yeah.
There's 6 subcategories to it. Or 7 actually.
Actually,
You know,
let's get
link,
number 7.
They're linked in. You click on it.
but I can link it to that. Yeah, so I don't need to make ones for each of the subcategories. Okay.
There is somewhere is linked like that part. I don't see an operations manual, but we have another. Like, see, look, last year I highlighted it.
Big old letters there too, lady.
Oh.
Look, what? I had my glasses adjusted because they were like this from going like this, and now they're like this. And like literally, I have to go like this to see my computer because I can't pull them down because they're too tight.
They're too tight.
So I'm like,
I had to borrow some of these glasses from the doctor.
I need bifocals. He says I don't.
I think I'm getting to that point.
He says no, because when you focus, you can see. It's the focusing from here to here, and bifocals aren't going to help you focus from
Right.
here to here. And once you focus, you can see. Like, yeah, but like I need to do that quicker.
I find mine, there's a lag between when I look at it and when I actually can read it. It's like,
Oh, I have that too.
there,
But I think that's
my
just,
eyes are going crazy.
I think that's just bad vision. I'm like, okay, I see it. Okay, there we go.
Now
It's in focus.
Anyway, I also need to put things like,
Okay, let me get my
contact
card.
Yeah.
publishers.
I'm like, I don't really want to say resources, but I
and
feel
all
like
that kind of stuff. It's in the, I know it's in the operations manual, but there is specific
The goods.
statutes. Yes, that's what I was trying to see. That's usually what's. This, so yeah, see right here, there's the laws. It's in our operations manual. So that's last year's operations manual. Let me go to this.
Digital system, yeah.
State for policy.
And
Yeah,
Is that
I would
okay?
say policies and
Okay, so
like you're just, like you need to read this. And then, this is
this is really.
This is like
probably explain
things you need to read and be able to answer questions because you really need to understand your role. You have to do this, you have to do that. You can't, So if we put that on a pre-presentation, it's not so cut and dry.
Can we link the whole folder?
I'm gonna link it, but I also wanna like explain.
Yeah.
All resources for meetings.
Okay, commission.
Okay.
Might have to show me what to do because this is a different computer. So
I should say one for Kate, so go to your little finder. Oh, you have it there. You see the airdrop?
I see something that says donate, but that doesn't make sense to me.
Add the folder to your drive.
Usually it just says airdrop.
Yeah,
doesn't
so
it?
does mine. Usually mine's up here.
I'm glad it could be
Yeah.
inspiration to you.
Easily access.
Just type in the search, type airdrop.
See. I'll add it. I probably would have done it anyway, but
Yes.
definitely brought it to mind. Okay.
I mean, that's
Virtual meeting.
Hannah, if it doesn't have airdrop in the finder, how do you airdrop?
Is your Bluetooth turned on?
It's on.
And it's not in the finder?
It's not right. Like, that's where mine is, and we even Google it.
So let's go to system. No, it's not there either.
Is that something they can restrict?
Maybe. Yeah, you can turn it off.
But it's been here before. I don't know. This is my old computer.
Yeah, I don't think it has it. Which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what version? Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
It might be.
Wouldn't it be under the Apple?
Oh yeah. Well, that's the 2000. I don't know. I don't know if they have. I don't know when it came out.
Well, I've always had airdrop on mine.
Me too. This is like my third one. And I have, so I don't know why it's not there.
It's.
Got a finder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. It wasn't.
It's not. It
there.
doesn't come up.
And if she searches, it doesn't come up.
Only AirPlay, which is weird because that's more intensive technology.
Does the document have like that little share on it?
Do you have the little Ask Siri thing?
Is that it?
Oh no, it's not up.
It's
Okay.
on this.
Oh.
Yeah, just email it to me.
I'll just email
I
it
just
to
want
you.
to be.
I'm gonna
Well,
look it up
thank you
though.
for looking. That's
Yeah.
bizarre.
It is.
I'll email it to you. Do you want me to email it to the both of you?
Yeah, that'd be good.
No, I have to look
I
it
mean,
up.
in my airdrop, I see RMSH long 01.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you? Okay. That's
Okay.
what I see. Yeah. I don't see you. Because if that's Hannah.
Do you see me?
You have AirDrop?
I do.
Which documents
Wait
did
a
you?
minute, wait.
your phone.
If that's an older Mac, let me see if it'll find you now because you're an older Mac, right?
That's what I was going to say. If I could find it.
Yes, I'm the older.
You're going and email it if you want.
No, go ahead.
Now I got you. Now I've got you.
You didn't see me still.
Not yet. They're still searching.
Oh, okay.
Still searching, but I don't think it's found you. She's gonna email it. there's the policies and statutes. They should be hyperlinked in here.
I know, I thought it was just.
No, it's driving me nuts. And they're a really rowdy group, whatever's going on over here. But yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, right. Can I look at one more thing? I just want to see now.
Okay.
Now I'm just curious. Found
I was
it.
just reading that.
There. Now she can airdrop it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was just reading something that said go. And I was
Yep.
like, where's go?
Where's go? Yep. Virtual meetings. Yeah, there's a guidelines document,
Oh,
right?
I see you.
Okay,
It says Carmella.
let me get to it.
If you go to Finder,
KB,
and then at the top, go to go, and it gives you options on how you can share different documents. And if it's listed there, then your device has the capabilities. And so you click on it. Mhm.
Let me make sure I have the last one in Word. Okay,
Virtual
and then
meetings.
you just want me to airdrop that, or was there something else?
Airdrop that and the invitation.
In the
And you'll
operations
probably do them
manual,
separately. When I accept one, will be the other one.
because it's not separate.
Because there's parts in the invitation that they're supposed to read, and it may be
Is it-
easier if we
I
can
just
just.
think it was a different.
Basically, we're gonna make it where that your
Right.
checklist
This
is,
is
you don't need it.
What she has posted.
Your packet will be the campus course. Your phone?
Oh, excuse me.
Go to last year's folder.
That's mine.
Let me go and search in.
I really need you to get my recording. Here. What was made last year's folder? Because that's not even talking about class A.
I'm gonna take that policy that's
Maybe
in there.
it's just like
Download some stuff and we can. Probably once you can have a general outline, then we need to divide it up. So you can decide.
This is the whole thing of who was the textbook commission,
Yeah.
the actual state board thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take each of those and make a slide for every little thing right there, maybe if it's important.
Here we go.
Within that
Virtual meeting
one
best practices.
policy, and
Okay.
it's figure
Okay.
out
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's the
Okay.
It says 5 and C
That's
is
what I'm
the.
Yeah. And then our file,
you
in
can't
our
see
file,
it,
there's a
it'll
new
just say 5 and C
spreadsheet of
is that one
the
right there.
new current commissioners. So like you wanted to do something for the picture later.
Yeah, I'm just doing
Yeah.
this one
Yeah.
right now. And then I'll be like,
So what do you
The
want to
advisors.
work on?
It's in
The information on the checklist other than the
Sure.
Okay.
and I say who I'm saying. each
We can
unit.
join
I
the
just wanted to
commission.
know February's subfolder from last year.
I'm gonna put it. I just need for them to.
Oh.
Okay.
Are they all? I didn't do that.
It's in go to.
This year's invitation.
Download.
The invitation and then your packet. I haven't got anything yet.
You didn't get it?
Okay,
Okay, let's see.
Schools, which is weird.
Go back. And now this is the 2019 one.
That's fine. It's got the same general information in it.
Okay,
Oh,
now-
there, I got it.
Got it. Okay. And now I've got to, I'm gonna try to get you the latest one, because I just have to
That's
update
fine.
it. Let me see if I can pull that one for you.
And then
Your everything running on one.
For that meeting, what time do you want to take a picture? Just think about it and let me know, because I'll need to email.
I would probably do it in the morning, maybe. I mean, I know we start later, but
We told them that
maybe right before
where they
lunch.
really need to
we start at 10.
step up and dig in. Like, don't just
I don't want to
because
stop an
you'll
hour into it for
actually
pictures,
work the link.
but definitely
But
before
that's
lunch.
that's
what
for
time?
advisors, not for commissioners.
I don't know what time we have.
No, but we should.
What do you want to just say 11 and we'll go for an hour and stop, take a break, take a picture, and then get back? See if we go to the bathroom and then we come back.
Oh, okay. I just meant like computer
That works.
troubleshooting.
Then you can give the definite time, and then we know to plug that in the agenda for 11.
Okay, sounds good.
No,
So we can get started and then stop.
So
That's
11.
something we have later.
I was just trying to go ahead and
Is
set
yours
that up
open?
now.
Okay.
Okay. That was,
Is your airdrop open? Because I don't see it now. I gotta get me an external drive because we're getting new devices.
oh, so that
Our,
was just
our lease is up.
You don't have to do that. You have this education Google account, right? If you download Google Sync, it'll automatically sync everything on your computer to your Google Drive, and then you can just re-download from Google Drive.
Talk about that later. Because I already had to have a wipe and put everything I thought on a disk, and I only put on what was important.
Yeah. With this, you can be on any computer and access anything on it. Like if you don't have this, like if I didn't have this computer, I'd log onto hers and still have access to everything.
But to be in Chrome to do it.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I try to keep
You're supposed to pay for
textbook
your
commission in Chrome and school and Safari, so they don't.
No, it's everything.
Well, that's because
Never the
the
two
platform,
sides.
because the platform
Mm-hmm.
is the same server as EVOS. Is it EVOS?
I haven't figured out.
No, it's check-ins, NC check-ins. And so when I had them on the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
like I'd have my school for check-ins totally redone because it was trying to go to the textbook commission one. And I'm sure I was user. So I just do textbook commission in Chrome.
No, it has to be separate. I agree. You have to separate things out.
I'm gonna send it to you on here.
since I don't see you anymore.
Me?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, that's because I was looking for older
I was
maps.
just gonna say, instead of having the pages before.
Because she may not see you
Like,
because
just
she's
like, make it links within.
But that's when she goes, I don't see you.
What's your- She showing up.
hers. Well, yeah, it was like an actual flower picture, but it's an older Mac.
Mine is?
Did you send me the thing just now?
Mm-hmm.
Can you do it again?
Okay, yeah.
If I don't catch it when it first pops up,
Well,
it-
that I before another page.
For you.
Didn't tell me that it was sent.
Well, I guess I don't need it after, do I?
Well, that's
Okay,
the group notes. Well, we
Well,
talked
let's
about.
do it after.
so to
I
find
guess I don't need
hers,
to type all
to
that
find
out, 'cause I don't wanna make
Commissioner
copies.
Flowers, I had to do. I saw it when I did look for the.
So,
Yeah, that's what it showed up as before that. Like it didn't show up until I did that, and then it showed up.
Okay. Then we talk about.
Yep, there you are.
the
See?
miracles. Oh my God.
Okay, so hold on, let me figure out where it went.
wrong dollars, so.
So we want to talk about have a plan for where you're gonna put them.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me close it 'cause it may not. I'm gonna drop it if I have it. Let me try again.
Materials, when you see them, we should say like ideas. Every single time, I can't spell that word right. So I'm
Before
like,
you go, friend.
I'm an English major. Okay, storage locker,
See, drop.
garage,
But it's not letting me.
Campus, like if you have a place on your school campus.
Oh, it says
versus
waiting.
College campus.
For you to accept.
Where do y'all store your books at?
What books?
in my garage.
Where does mine have?
5 for university.
Yeah,
Okay, we're just making sure we hit all the
big one.
options here.
Okay.
Okay, and then
Okay, once all materials are.
Did you get the last one?
I got
The
3 from you.
invitation?
I've got the invitation to twice,
Okay.
and then I got the packet,
Okay.
advisor's packet.
Okay. So you have everything you need.
Can you send me
Oh,
the
we need
operations
inventory.
manual?
Well, we'll sort
You have
first
it on
in the
there?
inventory, that's right.
So
Go.
How about say prepare for
I'm gonna try it one more time. Ready?
Do I have to have that one open to accept it, or will it just come in?
And she does little plus pops of it, so
Yeah.
accept or decline.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, I don't even know where it was.
We can get suggestions for sorting.
Yeah,
It says
okay.
sort
I keep
either
asking why it wasn't popping.
by
It showed looking
publisher,
at
by
device.
grade level, or by publisher. I mean, I don't know how to say it. Like they're gonna have their own system.
By grade level. This is a suggestion.
Nothing. Says waiting for unknown to accept still.
Print.
Maybe
That's what I would do.
Yeah, I did too.
Print
I highlight
the
inventory sheet,
inventory sheets.
and that comes from Dr. Fair.
Dr. Fair. Go through all boxes. Make sure you see all necessary material. Both books, both hardcover books.
Teacher edition, student edition, wraparound resources, digital. We need to make it open. We also need to make sure the logins work, because that's all the information that we have to send out. All right, then they'll need to, once she sends out the email, if inventory email, she'll need to know if everybody got everything that you're paying for. Inventory, plan for resources.
Okay, we can put that at the, well, actually, no, I think we should. I'm just gonna go to that. We will keep the resources for a couple months. But make sure you have a clean.
Yeah, check it out. See if you got it. Just send it to you.
Local schools. More school.
I have those ones,
Or local library.
the ones that has everybody on.
I sent it to Angela Flowers at GCF. Yeah,
Wow, so many.
it just says flower A at, yeah. Well, when? See, it's in my sent folder.
Just see if you're this man.
Oh no, is it went? It's in my sent folder.
It was sent to where?
It'll be okay. It'll come in at some point.
Okay, that's before evaluation. So now we go during evaluation.
Did it say what I wanted them to look at in the invitation, or just wanted them to be aware?
textbook commissioners.
And it said specifically for them to look at.
No,
it.
well, we did
that.
this.
That's what,
Yeah,
rather
that
than
is
them
later.
going through the whole
Right,
invitation, we're just
or-
pull out the pages that it pertains to your checklist. And so if we get it right, we should know,
Okay.
when we come back in March, if everything's in it the way we're trying to line it up, it should take the place of your packet. And there's gonna be quizzes attached to the important things like the statutes and
Okay.
responsibilities. And then if
Yeah.
they have to have that to get the CU credit.
Okay.
We're also gonna,
Okay.
you got it, Flowers is gonna work on, we're gonna advertise, a plus being the leadership
I'm gonna come up with a slogan
in the
for senior line and teachers
teacher evaluation,
Oh,
the leadership standards
Mhm.
that would be affected by participating
okay.
is like a selling point.
I got you. Mm-hmm.
It's hard
So you
for
make the
teachers
connection.
to
Yeah.
get that credit sometimes
Okay.
as a leader.
That sounds good.
But and then the things that you usually need them to submit, right? So we're gonna make them assignments. So then they submit those documents.
Okay.
Then I'm also gonna do a separate thing on e-procurement. In the past, that's always been
Yeah.
a sort
For
of
the
part.
past 2 years, they
Yeah,
haven't had to do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
but
we
we need to
have
like
go
make
back
a
this
special,
year.
certain, that specific thing for, here's how to set up your e-procurement.
And I have to double check that because we have a lot of change and transition. And so for the past 2 years, we've just been having a spreadsheet and nobody's had to go on the system. But I was told when we were there last year that it would have to go back, but I need to go back and check because we got a lot of turnover there.
So then we'll just wait, but know that if
I'll send an
e-procurement,
email like now.
say if it is a requirement, we probably need our own little video on
Of that.
Like that needs to be a screencast, like go here, click here, do
Right.
this.
Because I still have all the directions and
Yeah.
remember, well, you wouldn't remember unless you're on the webinar. We used to get someone from the procurement to be on the webinar. So when
I've
we did
never
the
been on the
webinar
webinar.
for the advisors, we would have all of the stuff, like I have to tell them what they need to do, what they need to turn in, and then we'd have a time when the e-procurement person would go on and they would share their screen and they would show them how to go in and do things.
Oh,
And
that's
then if they had already tried to sign up, get in, whatever, and had problems, they would troubleshoot during that time and try to help them get on during the webinar.
That's good.
And so it was really great, but when we didn't have to have it anymore,
Yeah.
we didn't have to have them come anymore.
Well, years ago, before we had webinars, that was like part of my responsibility was to make sure that
Really?
I found the advisors. I had to get their information. I sent it to Sylvia,
Yes.
but I went to like several schools to sit beside a person to
Mhm.
go through the e-procurement.
Okay.
Because they were having problems.
Yeah, because it can be kind of difficult.
It is, and I think the big thing is that makes people leary of making themselves a business. And I said, nobody's going to contract you to build you, so you're fine.
But we still have that.
I
Remember when you all had to fill out,
someone had
all the
finally made it.
advisors had to fill those out this year. And that was the biggest question.
Example,
Well, what does this mean? Am I saying that I'm a business? And so they don't understand, you're having to go in the system as a contract.
Yeah.
And that's what it's meaning.
Yeah, and that's the biggest, they didn't understand that. That's just this. I said, no one's going to contract you unless you bid on something, so you're fine. Nobody's going to bill you.
Right.
7 publishers.
Okay, let me go back now to the invitation I had to. My computer was doing something funny. Okay, let's see where I put it. And now I don't see you again.
Oh, wait a minute. You see me now?
Yeah, it's-
Is it on there? We close it and open it back up.
Restart the device.
There you go. And this is the invitation. So,
I have an invitation.
oh, what was
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Oh, the procedures.
Yes,
Okay.
I have an invitation. I have the advisor's packet.
Okay. It's the procedures. 1 second.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just let me know if you need something else. I'm going to email her about the pictures at 11 o'clock, right?
And we'll just make sure, we'll just take a little break, do pictures. People can go back to what they do, then we'll come back and we'll just make lunch a little bit later.
Okay. I'm going to, I'll put it on the schedule that's in Google.
Yeah,
And then that way people will know. And you can tell them.
I forgot to tell Tim I made it. Geez, I guess you made it. Yeah, I beat him. I like that 2 hours ago. I wanted to be bright and colorful. Still want mine to be bright and colorful.
Pick this one, I like it.
That's one I had to do with, I think.
Did you?
It was the first one that was pretty good.
I'm gonna start doing all my math lessons like this.
You can get him in the Canvas course. Well, you're somewhere from Canvas. You're still not here, right?
I got to can access the internet, what you talk about.
I know. I get random questions too.
Well, ours are old and
Oh, I had that one first time, but now I open it.
Do we want to post this to put a, that's the checklist that we had to go through each table?
I'll put that up here too. That's actually the first thing we have to do.
Here's this one too. Our responsibility to tell the advisors. Information.
Well, we're not doing that anymore.
Oh, that's right, because they're doing
They're
that.
doing it. Should set up their tables correctly. Where is
Actually, it's not the exact same.
the first people to join us on what in review?
I'm trying to think how we set this thing. I can see it in the brain. That's how we did it now. We had 6, 7, 8, you, me,
Oh, we had
and
three
and then
different.
we had
We
this.
had tabs. Well,
Yeah.
big tabs at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. I was just trying. Like I can see us doing it.
Yeah, but we all were in charge of
Mhm.
different. Yeah, I remember that.
Commissioner Farmer, she was able to share the documents with you?
Mhm.
Okay.
The picture you just have there. Or delete that slide. Changing off.
Oh, it's good.
So if I change this, because I was trying to delete it, but it just changes it. But before, it had a different picture on the phone.
Yeah, you can change the picture.
Just put the picture on the phone?
Mhm.
How do you do that? Is that a loaded question?
Look, I have pictures from last and they were awesome.
Oh, yeah. Mm. It would be good if we could have a formal picture.
I have a picture y'all's table. There's a big place. Everybody's not on it now. It's a picture of the past. That's
So,
grandpa.
or even just, it doesn't have to be, how can I like put a link there to click on?
Oh, okay. Technical. Okay, photos, yeah. So I'm just interested.
Gotcha.
So you want to
put
upload a photo.
You
Okay.
want to
do
put
that
little
here.
pictures.
Nice.
Let me know. I want someone.
Okay.
Actually,
So for how do I,
supervisor's notes.
let me try to figure it out. Do you have to save as you're doing?
I should keep it on.
Mm-hmm. It's automatically
Yeah.
saving.
I'm not going to Google it.
Because it says orange and black and it's not even the one I ended up using.
Is it a different page? Or is it the theme colors that you have to
It's
change
not.
every time?
I don't know. If I started out picking something different and then like this one here, it's still saying that figure.
Oh, that's because that's the name of the. That's the name of the.
But that's not
Template.
what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the name of that's the word I was searching for. It's the name of the template.
But that's not the right template. It's not even the same template. I'm gonna try to just save it somehow. In case.
I think there's even a save.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one.
Yeah, because
And it automatically says it on your home.
Yeah. You can make a copy if you're nervous.
Okay.
But it's still called copy of
That's
orange.
so odd.
Great.
And you can,
Because that was
if you
the
go under a
orange.
file, you can save it.
Let's see, look, that's the orange and black
Did you just change the colors?
right here. It's entirely different. That's orange and black. But this is what I'm using right here.
Yeah. I click on it.
Click on this one
Mhm.
here.
Click on that.
We're in
Just
mid
so
copy,
you
you're
go.
good.
Click on it, and then there's your slide choices.
Because we made a copy
Because you
of
made
it,
a
so you can
copy.
go back to the original now.
You made a copy right there.
Okay. That page is done with the text.
Yeah, here's a copy. And it'll be in your home. Both of them will be in your home, actually.
Okay, so
Until you delete them from your home. I wonder how much memory you get in the free version.
We have,
I mean, I have never had to purchase anything.
we checked out 3 people for each one, right? Is that the minimum that we needed?
I think so. I think that's what we decided on. It was based on how many people are in. Like, I think it's probably going to be a lot harder getting CTE people, won't it? You think?
Well, we send the flyer out through the CTE listserv, and they're a pretty well-connected group.
Okay.
And then when I talked to the guy from my region who was looking at some stuff, he said that they would also like make sure they got the word out in their districts.
Okay. So I think because like high school didn't have as many, so they only did 2 per resource,
Mm-hmm.
and so. I
Well,
think
we
it
want at
depends.
least 3 eyes on everything.
Yeah.
So there'll be at least 3 people for every area.
After that.
And just logistically, last year, because it would be like every region got a first grade, a kindergarten, a DOA. So this time it'll be like odd regions get this area,
This,
even
okay.
regions get this area. So every region will get a masonry teacher, and every region, so it'll come up with that many.
makes sense.
So the logistics will be a little different. In the original checklist, you say review the invitation, including the textbook materials review criteria sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Do they need to review the whole entire invitation?
That was for them to be able to see the criteria
Okay,
sheets.
okay.
That's what it was for. Because, that's the only document
Yeah.
it is. Because even once that gets approved, it can be pulled out if you don't want them to refer to the invitation. And they can just, you can just give them access to the
Criteria sheets.
Unless there's something else you think that they need to see in there.
Only when we talk about, well, in the invitation where it talks about what the advisor does.
That's in the packet.
Yeah.
That's one of the pages. Because that's in the beginning, like on page something, right? The very beginning, like 3, 4, 5, something like that. It's in there, that's the page
That-
of the packet.
So like results about qualifications.
That's the packet.
But do they have to read the invitation?
No, that's what I was just discussing with
You know,
her.
just to get
They
the
only
criteria
have
fees.
in the
Okay.
invitation document, they only have, it's only that one page that's specific to them
Mhm.
outside of the
Outside the
criteria
criteria
sheets.
sheets.
Yeah, so
So
that was
if I
really the
just pull
only
out
reason.
that one page,
Mhm. I think it's already in the packet. Let me look.
so that's what you've got the words for.
Yeah, I think that part is in the packet because when I made the packet, I think I put the same words in there.
Because you got
So
a
go back
bit.ly
down
link to
in the beginning of the packet.
and it says advisors.
Because here's what's in the invitation.
Qualifications.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit more in here than there is in there.
Right, because this is just a snippet.
So maybe I should put this in it and not that.
Because that's all this is evaluation.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that was made more for them. This is made more for general knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. So then,
Really,
actually, all we need to do is just wait until the criteria, till that's approved, and then we can just hyperlink the criteria sheets in here for them to review.
yeah, you just give them the criteria sheets,
Yeah.
and then when you get the other information from the page you're just looking at, that covers anything. That
So I'm
would've
just
been
going to
in
put
the
this on
invitation.
the presentation slides.
Okay. That'll work.
So then they'll go through it, then there'll be maybe one or two questions about.
About
that.
there. Okay, that sounds good. But yeah, they wouldn't need to do the whole invitation.
Okay.
That was the only reason I believe is because of the criteria sheet.
You're doing what is commission, right? So I'm going to do qualifications and offer advisors.
Yeah, and I was trying to link the
Statutes.
policy right here
Yeah.
that they could click on. But I don't really know how to do that. I did copy.
Yeah. Go to. Or go to the camera course. I'm sorry.
Okay. Wait. Just click.
Yeah. Let's see.
And then I wanted to put the seal. I was going to try to
Put it in there.
but I don't know how to save it.
Well, for that, you're going to have to screenshot because you can copy. And then you're going to have to. For Canva, I have to put it in like a Google Doc. In my Google Doc and then pull it to Canva, right?
I just upload directly into Canva.
Right there. There. Image. Drag it. Drop it. And do that.
Maybe click on that.
So I'm going to take a picture of it first, I think, make a screenshot and then upload it.
Or you right click and save it as in.
You can't right click on it to share.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
It says not save as. Picture.
So then let's make it
How do you do that?
Shift Control 3 is the whole page. So I lost it now.
It's my third Mac and I still
No, it depends on where you're supposed to. Can I do it this way? Okay. I want to do it again. I have to crop it, I have to grab it. Oh, maybe that is it. That's not what it looks like. Don't do it again. Don't say. Because I can find it. Hang on. Your thing is really tight. Mine's really loose. Because I use it too much. The invitation where the. Oh, sorry. You want to go back to
just how do we get rid of that?
in Pages?
Like whenever that screen is open. So
No. I don't know. I don't know why it's in.
cancel.
Yeah.
PDFs, the Word document.
Okay. I can still screenshot it. So if I do 4, just do the seal. Close a white space. All right, now the question becomes is where does this go?
Desktop.
I didn't see it on the former desktop. Okay. So now go to your camera thing. Well, I think it's the background around it's going to be white. So if you like put it on a color file thing, that's going to be white colored. So you have to drag it.
That just how it is. Like the address today.
There's a separate deliberation with that.
That's what he
No,
used in the
text
Excel.
is calm.
For what?
He used in the
Did you
Excel.
want
That's
this?
the final.
I had this page done.
I can do that. We'll just go.
You can put your notes in without
Yeah,
voting.
yeah.
Okay.
That's the one where you have
Edit.
to, your notes
Okay.
have to be put like that.
And then now go here. And then let's see how it's not gonna.
Maybe it's not even a good idea to put it there. It doesn't look that great.
I need to put this
I'll
part.
just get rid of that thing and put the seal on the side.
True.
Keep the little blue thing hanging down.
That's good.
You can actually put that on top of it probably. Right? We make it where it's on top of and not behind it, or make it behind it. Doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Just okay. Oh, there's the definition. The general statute definition.
So all we need to do is include specific ones. Or do they have to read the need to know all the board policies and stuff?
And only need to know the ones that pertain to their job. They need to have the policies of the commission.
Okay.
They didn't know anything about the blackout period. They report of. So right there's the text of the State Board of Education policy. I do that. That has to do with the evaluation of that.
How do you make a link to put it in case they were reading?
That I don't know. That's a. I thought it was under the effects on the side. Where's my? It's not elements. So it's not text because that's different fonts. Hannah, is there a way to embed URL right here? Go the dots first more. And that says embed. I think we'll do it. And then you paste the web link there. So you can make those two little dots and that. And then you put the link there. But watch out, because right now you got that text box selected.
So this is the link.
Yeah, that should be the link.
Then you have to save.
Maybe yes. What is this? So this is the link exactly to the policy. So if I copy that, yeah, that'll work. So go to the advisor's packet.
Now to make.
Yeah, the advisor's one. So go slow down. So it was a bit little there. Click on that. Or if you click on that, it'll take you to the specific statute that's just that about them, not the all the statutes about before. So you know what I mean?
So I don't need to say
No, you can, but
that. Not the link it there.
you don't need to link all the individual statute that are pertain to us. But if you click that link, it'll take you to the one that's specific for, well, it's us about advisors. That's the one that's specific for advisors. And it might be the one you pull up. If you click on it, maybe it'll take you to the specific policy. Like go to,
Where do you click that?
okay, so that right there's about us, about them, not us. Are you doing
I'll
about
just
us?
open up a different screen. You said not to have anything to us. I was just gonna have it right there. What is it briefly? Read to find out.
Yeah, so go back to your list of all the statutes and just pick one. And then just one that pertains to us. Like this. So then hyperlink that. See if that works. I think it didn't work before because it was like an intro thing, maybe.
Where do you have to click somewhere in particular for it to go?
Right here after. Into the design. I don't know. Maybe because it's assembly and not a like a direct website. Maybe it doesn't recognize it.
They worked on the walls.
But I might be in Canva with it.
Okay.
Hannah, is there a way to embed a link other than going through the embedded link thing because it's not recognizing the assembly where the board has policies?
I was just trying to link this page. Assembly.
You just want to link that page?
Like it where?
Right there.
What's it called?
The state board policy for the textbook commissioner.
Oh. Not too bad.
Use that instead of the other end.
Oh, I didn't even see that before.
Thank you. So if I click on this, I can put it on.
Yeah.
That's not that common. It's
There's like a red and orange in there.
so the button should be more yellow.
It should say that just to be on the safe side.
Which one's majority?
Should be right.
Like that the red?
Are you working on the copy?
No.
See, that's not how much I know.
Maybe the blue.
Go a little to the left of it. Because that's like the, if you go back to the thing, that's a little X and the squiggles is closer.
Okay. Let's see what it's like. I don't need
Why did that jump up? I was gonna try to get to like do this like it was showing it. See if it would do it on the slide.
Just click proceed.
Well,
Did
that's what I
it
did,
duplicate it?
but for some reason it.
That's the same thing twice.
It didn't work when I put, oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Yeah. I wonder why it has that same thing twice.
I don't know.
No. It was, I wish it was like a medium big.
Do that one right there.
This one?
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more muted. Can you change the color of the yellow? Because I think the yellow and the other one's a little too dark. This one's lighter.
Well, those are the only yellows. That's not the yellow, is it?
Mm-hmm. That one's too bright. That's too much.
Those are the only.
I mean, I think it's fine. They're not going to be staring at it that hard and saying, these yellows don't.
Oh. Oh no. Okay. Well, we can't use that anymore.
It sucks that it doesn't tell you that until you actually are ready to be on with it.
Well, it does every year. I just wasn't looking.
Oh, okay, I see.
I just this it. Got a feeling. Background. Let's go with the yellow. That's two. The red.
It's too dark.
When you guys get to your report, the report stuff, General Statute 115C-88 is really explicit.
What are you pulling up on the link?
Yeah, just on the
11 what? 5C?
yeah, 115C-88. when you put GS in front of it.
GS.
No, I just can't. I just want to do some solid stuff. That's just not too much. This is gonna be easy every.
Okay, so background, we said yellow.
Or
And then
fire
there's
some
some
more.
Yeah.
Not just
That
coming.
one.
Well, no, no.
The triangles.
Why look at the period?
What if you did the words in that green? It's not on the homepage.
This. Okay.
Let's just try this one and see what happens.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the yellow is too bright.
Would it be easier to change this up here to match the yellow, since we can't find the exact change?
This one. I really think it is this one. It's this one. That one. That's one it is. Yeah, because now I can see all the other things that are supposed to be there. Okay. Now it's done with that. Try again. Yeah, much better.
That's cute.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's digital system. And now all I have to do is finish up. Unless we want to flip the colors around.
I was just gonna say that, make like each button a different.
I can do that. Okay, let's see. So this one would need to be the red. Or no, the blue. That's what that is. This one. And these need to be the yellow. Okay, this one.
Excuse me. I was just getting ready to ask you a question.
Is that right?
So since we're going to do the picture at the next meeting, to me, it would make a lot of sense just to go ahead and have the meeting list for this meeting, to ask people to just sign it, fill it out, sign it, and leave it with me. And then anybody who's not there, I can make it available to them.
Yeah, so then you've already got that documentation.
Yeah, because we'll need it for that. Because we, we can put it on the web, if we put it in the courses or whatever it is that you're doing, we'll need that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well then I'll have those for tomorrow. And I know of only it's 3 people.
Oh, I forgot about it. Yeah.
So 3.
Yeah.
So I'll just specifically email to those people.
Yeah.
And ask. And also, that's one of the documents that you'll need for the advisors too. Yeah, so
that's something that you fill out and submit.
Yeah, so the things I normally have on that list, I need to make sure you all have them right. Okay. When would you all want me to start making sure you have that?
Because the next would be
Ready.
I think that's gonna be like the final thing, because we're not gonna put stuff into Canvas until we,
You have to develop.
okay, so we're developing in Canvas.
Just don't let me forget it if you need it before, because I made a note to myself, but just in case you need it before I get back around to it.
That's probably something that's just easy for us just to upload and put in once we have it. It's in the invitation, they have to fill it out. Then anyway, you might, make myself a note.
You're talking about the forms? Yeah.
Because I know it lists like specific things they have to upload in that packet.
The advisor's packet, yeah, that list is there, but I don't remember if the forms themselves are there.
No, I don't think any forms are there. You've like either hyperlink to them or you would send them, I think it said.
So I'll make sure I go through that list and get stuff to you. And I'm going to, while we're talking now, I'll go ahead and send the email about if we have to do that process.
Okay.
So that we can get on top of that.
Yeah, for the procurement, because that needs to be its own little.
Yeah, because I'll have to contact them to update what I have, because what I have is from 2016. Yeah. So there may have been some changes even with that process. So I'll do that.
Do you think that this Canvas course could take the place of the webinar? Or, I mean, I kind of think maybe we should still do the webinar, like if they have any questions, I think.
I think so.
And so if need be, you can start them do that in the webinar and just
we can decide like
tape it or whatever, so that we can upload it.
What we normally do is like we have the webinar just as an opportunity not only for questions, but also to kind of let people know, this is what you expect to do. This is what
and I do.
I mean, I think you could make it shorter because you're expected to. Here, you've got to relate to this Canvas course. You're expected to complete it. That needs to be completed before you come.
Right.
That is contingent. That is contingent of before you can be considered for payment. That's part of your job duties. However you want to work it.
Okay. That sounds good.
Because the idea is that this is completed. The part that we want to have free, then we may have a place where we just upload like things that they can pull down, like their standards, like house it there so they can go to the Canvas and pull their standards down if they need to. Although they can go to the webpage, but in my experience, because I've tried to accommodate everybody, so like I'll put things up in Google, and I put things up, and I email links, and I put it in Canvas, but we really are trying to get everybody to go just to Canvas and to do away with the other stuff, and so then they know anything you need is in the Canvas course.
So they have that one location.
Yeah. So, if you go to this one location, there will be your standards. There will
go to the 3 dots
if we get the presenter, if the publishers give us
beside the word spacing,
the link for the, we can put it in. We can put the link in because it's protected. Every file that's protected, so that outside people can't get in.
Right.
possibly. So then they would just, they could just go to their computer and pull it up and see the video on how to navigate the material if they're having a problem navigating that.
Yeah, I think it's great. But yeah, I think it could be a much shorter version, but definitely left in place for, okay, here's a quick list of things you need to do, and do you have any questions?
Yeah, especially that.
Something that we tried to do before too was make information available to them before, so that it was just a matter of highlighting and emphasizing, and then do you have any questions? And a lot of times there would be questions, and it was a good opportunity.
And I think that's important still, especially because there are people that there are districts that don't have Canvas, and they may not even are not sure about how to navigate Canvas.
Yeah, that's true. I was looking at the clock, it's always one.
Yeah, it's almost one. It is one. It's 1 o'clock. Are y'all about to stop in place?
Yeah, I'm almost done with this button. Every single time I
know I'm watching you like, what do I do?
Back to LA. I'm probably gonna have to come in here and resize them all again. Because it doesn't look like it's gonna sit well. I know it
looks like it's one of those like little stacking toys for kids.
there.
There you go. Yep.
Now I need to select them all. I don't want to center it. Or how about I just undo, edit, undo.
We're done.
No. This is what I should have done first.
Okay.
No, because I can change the width.
Holy moly. Where'd our blue one go? Our blue there.
Okay. Just gonna re-upload them all. I'll try again.
What? No, it's not. 174 though was the number that we had. Like
That
when
was
you
good.
stop, like that was the number they all were.
174. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, first one, the yellow.
See, I can't, I'm not gonna be able to handle that. Why? I know. I need to.
I'm impressed. I'm just like,
Can I just say the SBE policy, if I can say North Carolina's SBE policy? I'm gonna hyperlink the actual policy there.
Okay, you can just say SBE policy. And then text the original to you.
Alright, so now I want to do the property.
is there, can you go back to preview it again? Like what they would see?
Yeah, I gotta have the, now that. But I can adjust that as well. I just want the order to go away. I know that there's a way to do it. I just gotta let myself. Got it.
Guess which kid's mine?
You have a girl, right?
I have one of each, the mother and boy. Our first grade.
Over near you. Aw. Okay,
Yeah,
I can work with
yeah,
that.
that's much better.
I can work with that. Okay. Easily workable.
Cute.
No, there's one here. I was thinking if it was like 9 plus 2, 950. Heck,
Perfect. You're good, man.
Okay, let's preview it. Watch your thing.
Very good.
And so each of that, I haven't published the pages yet, already links to another page. And on that one, it's going to have before, during, after. Another, more buttons.
Nice.
That's great.
I just need to spend time with you.
I'm sitting over here like, I'm just like, I don't know how she's doing it. I'm just like trying to absorb it all. And I know I cannot do this. I'm gonna come visit you when you do your stuff.
Okay.
Teach me.
When you do, oh, yours.
When she does their training, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I need.
I'll be at NC Ties.
I got to go to
I
NC
won't
Ties,
be.
what I'm saying. Are you doing a thing at NC Ties, a presentation?
It's, well, now I have to think about it. What's the name? It's called Rolling into a New Mathematical Reality with Sphera.
Oh.
So balls.
Yeah.
Are you elementary for what?
Middle school.
I would be interested in seeing the presentation.
Yeah.
tonight, I am paying for it. Yeah. What is your general?
Yeah.
The early childhood or middle childhood? Middle.
It's the same thing.
I have to renew too
It's
for
the
the
same
second time.
process.
Like I'm getting ready to get part of 1200.
I just paid this.
That's why I
So you're literally doing it this year.
Now I'm gonna wait for 10 years.
We can say.
That's the renew.
And it's the first time I've done it as a coach. So that means I've got to
Yeah.
find a
When you
way
guys
to.
trying to
all those
create
artifacts.
That's
Yeah.
how I spent my summer.
We about
Other
to
than
stop.
with
We're done, we're done.
Okay, so we're gonna stop for lunch and then we come back, we'll pick up and kind of share out where we are. And you guys are probably way ahead of us. We're just trying to format presentation. Okay, so lunch, we're back in an hour. that you can edit later because that's going to change. It's probably not. It's probably going to be a emergencies only option. But yet, if that is an option,
Which we
and
can
it still
put
falls
that,
under the
yeah,
virtual, we still need the virtual protocols. Yeah.
Alright, so when we go into evaluation week, we kind of broke it down, based on us just doing the first evaluation week. So we've got 3 buttons. We have, what do you need to do before you even get to evaluation week? So what this talks about is literally getting the boxes, where are you going to store them, going through your inventory, making sure Dr. Fair knows if you're missing anything, digital links. And we said one big thing that we wish we would have known is it's not enough just to click on the link to make sure the link works. You actually have to go into the link so that when the advisors have questions as to they can't find information within the link, then we are the expert at that point and we know exactly how to navigate. And then it talks about, then it talks about before how doing your inventory, going through, and you don't have to be an expert that day. You don't need to go, fine tooth comb everything because that's the purpose of the advisors essentially. But after we do all of this and we go to evaluation, then the after button tells them, now this is when you need to become an expert because when you go back to deliberations, you're going to have to be able to answer all of these questions that came up and how you go back and do that based on the notes that you took during the advisors meeting. So and then evaluation week, during evaluation week, excuse me, just kind of gave them, because what we didn't know going into it is basically that we would be runners and we would be the answer people. So we just kind of walked them through some best practices that we figured out along the way. We're keeping up with spreadsheets, creating a spreadsheet so that you know what publishers were done, how many advisors did, and what grade levels are completed. And we're going to link those spreadsheets in as well so that they can either make their own copy and just use that spreadsheet or at least have a visual as to what our spreadsheet looked like just to get an idea of how they want to do it.
And then troubleshooting tips. So what we said was probably the most common issue was technical issues. And so here are some troubleshooting tips for computers. Just, try it before we reach out to the publisher or reach out to you. And then also like best note-taking strategies for during evaluation week, during the debriefing, and then to make it easier on yourself when you get to the final report. And then after evaluation week, this is when you go back, like she said earlier, with the fine-tooth comb, go back, especially things that you find that the advisors didn't agree on or didn't like or whatever, making sure that you really go back and look at those resources, making sure you review the rubrics and that you stay away from personal bias, and that you can go ahead and put your notes into the final report. You just can't vote yet because that has to be done live. And then the last button on that home page is deliberations and reconsiderations. And so best practices for during deliberations, you should already have all your notes done when you show up. The voting for the yay and nay is done live with all commissioners and publisher representatives present. And during this process, be ready to speak. Each resource should have at least 3 to 5 comments. You don't need to repeat what other commissioners have already said. And then the same thing for considerations. And that's everything so far.
Can I say something that has personally helped me before going? My strategy is I tear open the boxes that I make sure for every single publisher I get the paperwork, and one box may have the paperwork for multiple boxes, right? So I want to make sure that I get their paper that explains kind of like their overview thing, and it gives you the access to their electronic things and the content or whatever they have sent. And I make sure I have that for every publisher.
Yeah.
And it just makes it so much easier later on when you're, like you said, you don't have to be an expert. You got to have a big picture. and you gotta have an overview, kind of an overview of how your grades stand at your, whatever you're gonna be working with the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we suggested in the evaluation week and the before one to having like a system for how when the boxes show up, like are you sorting them by publisher, are you sorting them by grade level, and then printing off the list Dr. Prayer sends and like checking to make sure you have those things, which I think is kind of what you were saying.
Yeah.
Making sure that because like our systems are not the same, but like have a system.
Yeah, Wall Street, because like mine's by publishers. Like I check out
Yeah.
all the publishers, not necessarily by grade level.
Because if you can figure out their big picture
Right.
for one grade level, at least it's gonna be similar for
Consistent.
elementary.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
maybe
Now we have a few other notes of some things that we had discussed that we wanted to add into that, but it's things that we need to bring up for consideration from the group because we don't know if we can at this point. So we do have some other things that we'd like to say, but we're not ready to put it in there yet until we have the clear.
I like what you said about making sure you have the going online and actually being able to do that, because I think that's where our expertise has to come in,
And that's what we were
because
saying.
a lot of the evaluators are going to primarily rely on the paper stuff there.
Yeah.
So that's oftentimes where it's been able to make or break a publisher based on online material.
And hopefully between that, us going in ahead of time, and if they choose, because it's highly recommended, right, that they have the digital screencast for.
Yes, we put in there that it was preferred to have video.
So hopefully that they will provide us
With like a
when we get our materials.
And that's why we put that.
With that, so we can look at that and help us navigate, and then we'll know what to ask when we check them in. If we don't know how to navigate, then that's we say when we check them in. You know, can you show me how to do this, because I've tried it already at home.
Did you happen to give them a time limit? I'm just curious because in the
For the
past when they've done their little dog and pony thing.
That's not for them. That's additional to what they present. That's like a resource that they're providing for us.
Okay. So maybe it doesn't need to have a time.
What was your recommendation? I just put what you recommended. Was it like 10 minutes or
It's
something?
either, I think it's 10 minutes. And the whole purpose too is that they focus on helping us navigate their material, not selling us the material.
Yeah.
Because if for us to do our job, we need to be able to navigate the material. And I'm not listening to their sales pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's a waste of their time and my time. And if they want a better use of for us to be able to evaluate their materials and what their selling point is, they need to show us how to navigate to find it.
And if they can open their minds to that.
Right. And that's what Commissioner Jimenez and I said, like, just from our point of view being there, what were the kinds of questions that we kept getting asked? And the majority of the questions that the advisors were asking us was, I can't find this on the website. That's what we said, like, if we front load the new commissioners coming in with, you need to be able to don't just click the link to see if it works. You actually have to navigate it to make sure that when that question comes up, you can say, oh yeah, this is what I had to do.
And the good thing about that is something I guess we could point out too, is that is something you can do at home.
Right.
You don't have to be at the site where your materials are stored if they're stored. Like mine are not stored at my home.
Right.
But the digital materials, I always take that packet. I take those papers and the packet and the information home. I have a folder I keep them in. So then I have them full. And then I just go to the site when I'm looking through the materials.
It's definitely to their advantage to help us out as much as possible, because it's like we have to become experts in multiple grade levels, multiple publishers, and we only have so much time in the day, so the more they can help.
And that's where our suggestion comes in that we wanted to discuss. That I don't know if this is like, do you want me to bring it up now? Or?
I mean, I think it's. I mean, we can bring it up now. We probably need to talk about the whole.
Let's look into the review.
I think tomorrow when everybody can talk about, your suggestions. Remember, there is going to be a time tomorrow for you guys to share out what you wish you would have known from a newbie's experience.
Will we be presenting this tomorrow?
I don't know this. I think we are going to report out on what our committee's doing. So if you want to show, project? Can we project from their laptops up here tomorrow?
Yeah, they'll just have to go plug up.
I mean, we can.
I think that would be
We can
the
say,
easiest
here's
way
what
to
we've
do
been
it,
working
like-
on, and this is what it looks like, and here's where we're at.
Yeah.
And it's, we just started, and by the time we come back in March,
I think we'll be ready to roll.
it should be ready to roll. But a lot of the information that you have in there, which is really, a lot of the information that you have in there is stuff that, like, we're going over tomorrow.
Okay.
And so, I mean, like,
That's true.
it'll be hit on a little bit before, and that just kind of like, it's just bringing it back full circle to,
Is there anything that, as fellow, like that you would want us, that you feel needs added to it, just because you've been in it longer?
the only thing and that's all about evaluation week and materials, is you might want to add, like, we're doing the advisors training, but like the commissioners are gonna have to, that part of when we go to find advisors.
And
That's
that's on our
true.
But
because
I
we
don't
had a
have,
note
we
on it.
don't have the logistical specifics for
But there
that.
was also
But
something
that's something that by March, like,
Yeah.
we will know what we're looking
we can
for,
add
and
that.
and like, I'll just make sure I share it with you guys so y'all can. We all have access, but like, I don't want to add stuff to yours, so I'll
Well,
send
there
it to
was-
y'all and y'all can. add
No,
it.
because we were thinking, because there was a thing that we had seen on one of the ones that was what our role is to what we have to tell the advisors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, so we might as well just make an advisor button.
Well, or we could just add it to before.
not for the advisors, for the commissioners.
For the
hiring
commissioners, like
and
what
their
our role
responsibilities
is,
to
yeah.
the room
In the
of
room.
advisors.
Mhm.
See,
Yeah, with
we're
the-
just training the advisors.
Yeah.
Yours is what the commissioners need to know about your responsibilities
Yeah.
for advisors.
Yeah, and there was a document in one of the folders that was specifically the commissioner's role for the purpose of the advisors. So yeah, we can just have that in there. Okay.
So,
How do we share?
will your dongle work on mine? Or well, we don't, ours is just the picture. And then the canvas.
I'm gonna see it's.
I don't know if will this dongle work on yours? Because not all dongles work on
I don't know if it'll work
Macs.
on.
Yeah.
I thought the
It won't work on
dongles-
hers.
the
Yeah.
dongles fit
It'll
the
work on
dongles.
yours.
The dongles fit the dongles?
No, I think it has to go to that.
No, you'll have to have a different one.
Let me show you mine, and then you can show you. Then we'll take yours off, and you can show it. You can do yours.
Other
The other side. We have Apple TVs. We don't use them anymore. I
I bet
keep forgetting how to use them.
That's just the one I carry around. They're random.
I bet it will.
You think so? Oh, that's cool.
I need to get one.
That's a neat thing.
That's
Yes.
the dongles.
Well, maybe not.
Like I have dongle and me.
Might have to flip it around.
That's what I think.
Um,
I was just gonna ask you that.
damn. External job.
I just have like a 32 gig right one in my room.
I think it's a terrible.
We don't. Okay. So we have the home page on Canvas, and we've been working on different parts for the advisors. So that's just when they come in, that's what they'll see. And then the other things we have, I have one, you're finished your flowers, and then you're working on the second thing. My Canva, which I'm working on, I'm trying not to make it cut and like so kind of boring, but yet there's some stuff that needs to be technical. Is just the introduction. That might change. I just want something there. That is the definition of it's not transferable.
That's okay.
That's from the state board's definition. And, I mean, there's some longer in it, but that's like short to the point. And then that's going to be smaller, but that's that's hyperlinked to the statute that talks about advisors. And then that's the hyperlink to the Board of Education, which is 4 different areas, very specific about advisors and their expertise and that sort of stuff, We're not gonna put the content of that in the slides. The expectation is that they'll go to that link and look at the content. And which is what that was, but I don't like. I started copying and pasting. I'm like, oh, that's too cut and dry. That's too kind of boring. And so that's where we are going. I'm basically going through the checklist on the advisor's packet, which is here. This right here is going to needs to be in it. That's just in the packet they were to look at. This was from the invitation, but specifically geared to them. And then hyperlinking some of this, like that's what we hyperlinked. Angie's working on the standards and the criteria, or somewhere that we're going to house it, but we don't have that to where we can house it. But we're going to make it a page so that it can be edited, because I know that if I do the presentations, once they're put up, they can't be edited. I'll have to redo it and reload them. So trying to get some of this information, and then just the nuts and bolts, covered expenses, travel reimbursements, the things that they have to do, the e-procurement, the things they have to submit, they're going to be assignments for them to submit. So anything in here that are things that it says specifically in the checklist that they have to provide Dr. Fair before.
Show them the last page with
that.
See all that.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
We're making sure that this checklist is covered either in a slide that I've quizzed to, so we know that they've kind of read it. All of this right here will be things, if it has to be sent in, will be uploaded through the assignment. And then they'll still need to bring a paper copy to Evaluation Week. It's like the media release will have it linked so they can go fill it out and then submit it through Canvas.
Cool.
And so that's kind of where we are. For this part, they don't have to review the whole textbook invitation. That first part was what was pertained specifically to them, and then the criteria sheets we're going to hyperlink in so they can pull it down on the page. That's it. Are you going to show yours? So you got yours. There's yours.
Yeah, because that's a USB, HDMI.
So would that work if I do this way?
No.
And there's a LAU.
LAN, yeah, that's why. That's for
Yeah.
yeah. No. That is for all the things that they took off the new MacBook.
Right. So shouldn't.
That what they do.
Is this thing?
That
That shape.
so yours is different.
Yours is different.
Yours is a different shape. They changed it. Apple does that.
So your
and it's
dongle.
not even that old.
No. That mine is. Yours
Yeah.
is newer.
Yeah.
Yours has changed.
Then shouldn't I have a way to get that?
Nope.
Not
Because you need
have to
another
have a
dongle. You need another type of dongle. Actually.
Okay. Thank you.
That's what you do.
What's that one?
That's your. It doesn't look this way.
Nope, it doesn't. I'll show you what you need. I'll send you a link.
Okay. Well, thank you.
But you can try and show them the page.
So I made a button for the math standards and things, so they'll have easy access. I was gonna make a button for the CTE, but this is what is the
That's your. Yeah.
do you just press that? I don't know.
You want to present.
It's just bringing us together, saying that the work we do together will make a difference in teaching and learning in North Carolina.
I went back out.
Oh man.
Just scroll down.
It's okay, yeah, just
I can get it to scroll down. Okay.
That's going to make a difference in my learning. So what is the North Carolina Textbook Commission? So I just summarized quickly. A group of educators and parents appointed by the state superintendent whose primary responsibility is to evaluate and make recommendations to the state board regarding adoption. And then there's a link. And then, by the way, what exactly is a textbook? It's not what you think. And then I put the quotation and then a direct link to the policy. It's important. And then you are an essential part of this process. Thank you for your time and commitment. Boom. Close that one out.
Mm-hmm.
Then go to what is in our body or all about.
This will all be on one. You're just
No, it's gonna be on two different,
Just
because we
one.
don't want one long
Yeah, no,
one,
I
so we're
agree.
gonna do like short.
Break it
Once you accomplish something.
But like mine will definitely have like quiz questions to it. Yours could, if you want to have quiz. You can upload it as a file, or you can upload it as a quiz.
What's the commission? How do you fit in it? What's the textbook?
And then
Nah.
your responsibility kind of thing, what you need to, and then logistics of what you need to know to logistically, like where it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was gonna just go down that checklist too.
And that could probably be a page.
Yeah, we can't do the content so much right now. That maybe
yeah until we know for sure.
some empty pages.
Yeah.
And then the digital piece. It's a start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's 2:54. Wow, this day's fast.
Mm-hmm.
Did we say 3?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay. So at this point, we kind of know where we are and where we're going. I know I have a lot more to do on my slides between now and
You guys have a while because yours is for
March.
advisors, right?
yeah. Well, but we want to have it ready so when we get to that point. But yeah. That's it. So we'll just keep working.
Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah,
or
anything
is it
to
okay?
add? I mean, so the fine part would be like when I go to upload it for quiz, like I might need you to like look at it and make sure that it's good, because it's been a long time since I did a quiz.
It is good. But yeah, no problem. I think that's a deal.
Okay, so that is the conclusion of our meeting. You may want to make a motion that we end.
Commissioner Sice, motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Jimenez, second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That will conclude the meeting of the subcommittee.